Rosenbag, hey, I'm sorry about that one. We'll get it. And you just say, yeah, I know we're going to get it right here.
I've done that a few times.
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
So in '83, when I had that throwing issue for 2 months, that kind of got me astigmatism. It kind of followed me around. But
throwing issue.
Yeah, but I got over that.
Yeah.
And so when I went to the American League, I led the league in fielding at my position.
Nah.
But but it wasn't because of me. It was because I had guys around me that were good. In L.A., I had Alfredo. We had Shelby in center field catching everything. I had Don Mattingly at first base in New York, and Espinosa at shortstop was remarkable. Everything he caught was out. So it's about your team, and I can only say this, when you look at teamwork and how valuable that is, just imagine if you're a boxer or a swimmer or a skater, you don't get to share that, but just with yourself. But when you're on a team, you get to share that with everybody. You go through the good and bad of everybody. You know their families. You know how much they're trying. You see them work, and you're grateful when they come out of it. And it's about bringing everybody else along. That's what real leadership and teamwork's about. And that's what makes this team great.
When I heard you were coming on, I kept telling Travis, is he the run through home plate guy?
Yep.
Were you the sprint through home plate guy?
Yeah.
What was that all about?
Well, I had a jet in my ass most of the time. I think that was kind of most of it. When I walked, I would run to first base. I did it when I was in Little League. And the reason I did this is not because of Pete Rose. The reason I've always done that is because I was going to try to steal second base, like every time I got on. If the situation was right, I was going. And so I didn't want to get at first base and try to warm up then. I could have a chance to run down there and get ready.
So it was functional. You're warming up to steal.
Absolutely.
That makes. So, what about home plate, though?
I just wanted to get there really quick, and then I'll worry about slowing down after I get past there. But I needed to score a run.
I like that, yes.
Steve, you mentioned that you were a base stealer. You had over 400 steals in your career, 444, and you had a career high of 56 in 1983. Obviously, the rules have been changed now with the amount of pickoffs, bigger bases, et cetera, et cetera. Do you like that the steal is back in the game? Then they changed the rules to do it. And with these rules, how many could you have gotten?
You can only throw over twice. If you throw over the third time, you got to pick them off.
Right.
I get it. I don't know. You got to get on first.
Sure.
Okay, that's the most important thing. Is you can't steal first base. But I do like the fact that the steal is back in. I mean, everybody loves speed in one form or another. On defensive, making a great play, first baseman going down the first base line, catching it over his shoulder, making a sprint to do that, or, stealing a base, scoring from first on a ball in the corner. Speed is very exciting, and stolen base is a big part of that. So, yes, I'm very glad that's coming back.
How can you, as somebody that stole bases, over 50 in a season, reconcile that there's a man that's out there that can hit 50 home runs and steal 50
and strike you out?
And so, but that's a whole other category. What is that?
This guy is like he's once in a generation player. There's no doubt, and maybe more generations than that. I've never seen anything like Shohei Ohtani, and he can just do everything. I hope he comes back, and even if we get 4 to 5 years of pitching and hitting, and he's like a meteor that may go out then because it's a lot of stress on that arm. I'd rather see that than to kind of like have him prod along and do what he can. I want to see him go full speed for the next 5 years, and hopefully we get that out of him. And it's just a pleasure to watch him. He's amazing.
Dodger legend Steve Sachs joining us here at Legends Attic in Claremont. So as a kid that grew up in Los Angeles, and at the age that I am, my first recollections of Dodger baseball as a Dodger fan was that infield of Ron Cey, Bill Russell, Davey Lopes, and Steve Garvey. Set the record. They were together seemingly forever. And this was my introduction to baseball. I thought that's just how it went. You had a team, and it was just the same team year after year after year. And then Steve Sachs shows up and replaces Davey Lopes. And as a 10-year-old, it's like, wait, what? What do you mean he's not going to be here? How can they possibly do this? What's it like? And you very quickly made an impact, win Rookie of the Year, and everybody's like, okay, we're cool. We're good to go. But what's it like trying to step into the shoes of somebody that had been there forever, like Davey Lopes?
Well, it's a pretty daunting task, number one, but the great thing was I was in an organization that was phenomenal. These guys knew how to win. I came up in 81, so I got a good idea of what it takes to be a professional. And guys like Steve Garvey and Dusty Baker and these guys really showed you how to do that. And even Davey Lopes, I mean, he knew I was going to be the next guy up.
Sure.
But he would have me out there sometimes before games. I remember in San Francisco he did this when he was out there early and I was there, and he'd say, come on, I'm going to show you what I do on stealing base and how to shift my hips. Instead of just turning and standing up, we're going to shift our whole core of our body at the same time, and it'll save you a step. And just doing things like that. A real professional, a guy that knew that I was probably going to be the one to take his job, but he was still helping me get there quicker, which I'll never forget it. And the professionals that we had on the team were amazing for me, and never forget that. It was just it was a great thing.
Big respect. I think my favorite shaped athlete is Ron Say.
Yeah.
The Penguin.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Penguin had about 4% body fat, didn't he? Yep. He did.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Fire plug.
One big muscle.
One muscle, that's right.
So you win the World Series in 1988 with the Dodgers, and the next season you're on the New York Yankees. Mm-hmm. And again, as a Dodger fan, I'm biased to be sure, but I think if you just ask a baseball fan, the two most iconic franchises in baseball are the New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah.
Those are the two.
Mm-hmm.
You played for both. What's the biggest difference between the Dodgers and the Yankees?
Can I preempt this for a second? So, just so people know, I grew up in Sacramento, in the Sacramento area, on a farm, and we didn't have any money. But we had a great family, and we still do. And we only had 2 posters up in our household, and the 2 posters were from a bubblegum company that had these posters that they were giving out, and we had these in our kitchen. And the 2 posters, one was Willie Mays and one was Willie McCovey.
Giant fans.
Giant. So we grew up avid Giants fans, and so when I was growing up, I hated the LA Dodgers. I thought they were the luckiest team. Oh, that Steve Garvey, I hate that guy. He's so lucky. He gets every break, whatever. And so I remember when I was 8 years old watching the Dodgers and Giants play, game of the week, and I remember telling my dad, I said, Dad, if the Dodgers, because I want to be a ball player since I was that tall, and I said, if the Dodgers and Giants, if the Dodgers ever drafted me, I wouldn't play for the LA Dodgers for $1 million, right? And so that was me in 1968 at 8 years old. So 10 years later, when the Dodgers drafted me out of high school, it took $985,000 less for me to sign with the LA Dodgers. So the scout comes to the house, and I remember telling my brother and my dad, I said, nothing less than $1 million. Nothing less than $1 million. The scout walks in. He says, Mr. Sachs, young man, you were the 9th round pick of the Dodgers, so we are here to offer you $15,000 and not a nickel more. And I said, okay. Sure. And that was it. I was on my way.
Wow.
So that was a little bit of the groundwork. But playing with the Yankees, it was phenomenal. I mean, the proximity with the crowd at the stadium, were so close you could hear everything they were saying. They are very knowledgeable people.
Yeah,
I remember I was getting up to bat one time, and there was 2 nuns sitting right behind the on-deck circle, and they said, "Oh, geez, look, he missed a belt loop." I mean, you could heir everything they say, and so it was good, knowledgeable, and one time I was playing catch with Mattingly before a game, right at the start of the season. We're playing quick catch, right, and some guys over there on the side, you say, "Yo, Sex, throw me a ball."
Stallone?
Throw me.
Throw me a ball.
I knew what that meant, I guess, later on. And so I'm playing quick catch. I say, hey, I can't do it right now. And he went into a tirade. Oh, I can't believe we got you instead of Randolph. You're terrible. You're mama. You're all this, And I stopped, and I caught, and I looked at him, and this was an 8-year-old little leaguer telling me this. Yeah.
Get out of town.
Had a mustache like Geraldo Rivera. Oh. I couldn't believe it. 8 years old. So that's kind of what it was like. I enjoyed playing there. We weren't any good, but we had fun.
So how did somebody in L.A. ask you for a ball?
Well, they scream it at you. Yeah.
Yo, dude.
His question was, what's the difference between New York and
I don't have one for that yet. I got to make something up.
Cool. Right on. Right on.
Got to be huge.
Steve Sachs, Rookie of the Year, Silver Slugger, and 14 years in the major leagues, and, of course, a 2-time World Series champion. Steve, it's a real pleasure.
Hey, yes,
Thank
sir.
you so
Thank
much.
you for having
really
me.
Enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
You're exactly what I thought you would be.
Can I surprise you with one thing?
Yeah, please.
So there's going to be live art going on here by Dave Holbrick, and who's over here doing live art right now. It's something, but we're going to have one special thing that Dave came up with an idea. We're throwing baseballs into a painting today.
Oh,
you,
nice.
me, and Steve Garvey are throwing into Holbrick's paintings.
Wow.
And then he's going to create the art around the splash of our ball going through the canvas.
Nice.
Wow.
It's going to be interesting.
Okay.
I can't wait to
Throw the
see that.
change up.
I hit it.
Hey, we're not going to go back to the thing, right? We're going to
No.
We're going to hit it.
We're going to hit the center of the thing. Is
Let me
that what
tell
you
you-
guys called it at the time? The
yeah,
thing?
Yeah, several times I've thrown out the first pitch, and I throw a strike every time. I'm back. You know what I mean?
Wow. So
You're back. You're
60,
back.
I'm in my 60s, but it was okay.
Steve, thank you.
Yeah,
Real
thanks for
pleasure.
having me,
It was a
guys.
real pleasure.
Thank you.
Steve Garvey still set to join us right here from Legends Attic in Glendora. More to get to at Travis DeMarco, 710 ESPN. All right, let's talk about Prize Picks. Pleasure, Steve. Thank you so much. Put the Prize Picks app on your phone. Prize Picks, you know how to do it, right? It is pick more. It is pick less. It really is that easy. For instance, last night, I got a little victory on Prize Picks. Played a little NBA basketball last night. More on LeBron, more on Jalen Suggs, and there you go. That's Prize Picks in a nutshell. Pick more, pick less. You put the Prize Picks app on your phone, and then you go to the board, and you look at the statistical projections. You pick more, you pick less, and if you get 4 right, you can win up to 100 times your money. You heard me right, up to 100 times your money, but you can't do it if you don't play. You got to put the Prize Picks app on your phone, and when you sign up, you put in the promo code 710, and when you play your first $5 lineup, you're going to get $50 guaranteed. So put it on your phone. Use the code 710. Prize Picks. Run your game.
The most followed sports radio station in America.
710 ESPN.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Black Friday savings start now at Cardinale Way Hyundai. These are brand new 2025 Hyundai Tucson Hybrid SEO convenience for just $369 a month for 36 months. Plus, enjoy peace of mind driving with America's best warranty. Cardinale Way Hyundai just off the 91 freeway or at CardinaleWayHyundai.com. $369 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. Includes 10,000 miles per year plus tax, license, and fees. Offer available to well-qualified buyers only. Subject to HMF credit approval. Expires 12/2/24.
Martin Lawrence, the Y'all Know What It Is tour. You know you gaining weight when you walk and you feel like somebody following you. Friday, December 6th at Crypto.com Arena. Tickets on sale now at AXS.com.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News and World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike. I have teamed up with Travis and DeMarco to tell you about personal injury attorney Joseph S. Normand and his all-star legal team.
We've been talking about the law office of Joseph S. Normand for months, and they've helped listeners achieve maximum compensation that they deserve in an accident.
Getting into an accident can be scary and frustrating dealing with insurance companies. Let the Normand All-Star team handle it for you. Visit NormandLegal.com or 213-747-2000.
The law offices of Joseph S. Normand, 213-747-2000.
Collectors, Front Row Card Show is back at the Pasadena Convention Center on November 23rd and 24th. Baseball, football, basketball, and hockey cards, plus Pokemon, Marvel, Star Wars, and comic books. SGC and PSA will be there. So bring your cards, comics, and autographs to sell, trade, or get them graded. Hundreds of vendors, thousands of dollars in free prizes. Don't miss it. Front Row Card Show, Pasadena Convention Center, Saturday and Sunday, November 23rd and 24th, 11 to 5. For more info, go to FrontRowCardShow.com. That's FrontRowCardShow.com.
All right, and it is Friday, and so it's time for our Pechanga Pick of the Week, and I have been pretty good on this the past couple weeks. I'm about 80%, and so I got Kyren Williams to get 0.5 touchdowns this weekend against the Eagles, so I'm going to take the over on that for the Pechanga Pick of the Week. I think that Kyren's going to get into the end zone. He's been out of the end zone for the past couple of weeks, and so I think we're going to go with over Kyren Williams, 0.5 touchdown.
You better be right. I like that. Travis and DeMarco, the Pechanga Pick of the Week, presented by Pechanga Resort Casino. Play the perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino. Visit Pechanga.com for more information. Kyren better score a lot this Sunday. Better, yes.
Hey, fam! fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a pepper thing.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
At Children's Hospital Los Angeles, we're a nationally recognized leader in pediatric care, honored by U.S. News & World Report as one of the best in the country. Here, we achieve amazing breakthroughs that change lives. From groundbreaking cancer therapies that offer new hope to young patients, to advanced heart procedures that save lives, we partner with families to conquer challenges and achieve extraordinary outcomes. Choose the best care for your child at chla.org.
Lakers fans, have you seen the purple and gold live this season? Still have time to grab your seat with Lakers Ticket Exchange, the official resale marketplace of the Los Angeles Lakers. Your ticket purchase is 100% verified and secured with Lakers Ticket Exchange. Go to Lakers.com/ticket exchange on your computer or mobile device. Find your seats and you are set. That's Lakers.com/ticket exchange. Let's go, Lake Show.
When you're hiring, ZipRecruiter's technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. What if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter.com/LA.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or 2 half-geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
And it is the Travis and DeMarco Show, live from Legends Attic in Claremont, Oral Hershiser's place, along with Steve Sachs and Steve Garvey today. What a celebration. And, of course, it's all for Travis's birthday. So let's continue back to Legends Attic in Claremont and back to the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Thank you, everybody, for the birthday wishes. I blown it on my own birthday. I'm going to make the Steve Sachs mural with the Stooges a thing on this show before we leave today. That is going to happen. I told Ireland I'm going to do it, and we are definitely going to do it for sure. Big shout out to the South Hills baseball team and Ashley Bustamante from Children's Dental Fun Zone. She's got her entire crew out here today. So shout out to them for being here as well. Oral's over there taking some pics with them. And we are joined right now at Legends Attic once again by Melissa Meyer, who is part of the Talk Dodgers to Me podcast. She is one of the co-hosts along with Allie. Melissa, it's good to talk to you again.
So good to talk to you. Thanks for having me again.
Of course. So you and Allie decided to put together a Dodgers pod, I think, at exactly the right time.
We really did. I mean, what better thing to happen than the Dodgers win the World Series the first year we start a podcast? I'm not saying we're good luck or anything.
I am.
I'm not saying we're not.
Yeah.
Last time we talked, it was around 50-50 time, right?
Yep.
And now we're talking after a World Series, and you said, what about the World Series?
I just had a feeling.
You just had a feeling. What was the feeling?
honestly, watching this team, you guys watch them, there was something different about them. Just the way they were gelling together, the way they were playing for each other. I really just saw them clicking in a way that I hadn't in the past.
I wish you would have called into our show then.
Well, it was funny because I agree with you, Melissa. It did feel different once they beat the Padres.
Yeah.
Because in that Padres series, it's like, oh, no, it's happening again. That you lose game 2, you lose. Shohei hits home run in game 3, and or game 1, it's like, okay, it is different. Shohei's here. And then game 2 felt familiar, and game 3 felt familiar. They had the game where they're throwing the ball all over the place. They can't get it done. Walker Buehler pitches well. They don't get it. They don't take advantage of it. And then they win that series. I've heard the players talk about it. I was wondering if you had the same feeling. Hey, we got over the hump, and now it's a downhill run for her. Not that it's ever easy, but this is a downhill glide. We did the thing we need to do, and now look the heck out.
Absolutely. I mean, they were the toughest team for us. We know each other so well. But I think the moment I really knew that we had it was the game after Profar, held the ball, jumped in front of the fans.
Oh, yeah.
Robbing Mookie's home run, and then the next day, Mookie hit it, same spot, but we got him that time. And from that moment forward, I'm like, yep, we got this.
I think I know the answer.
Your voice is almost cracking up. You're like,
I know.
She is such a big fan and loves the Dodgers so much. She's telling this story. She's almost crying.
Big time. Sweeter for you to beat the Padres
my boys.
or the Yankees? Sweeter for you beating the Padres or the Yankees?
Padres.
Yeah, always?
Well, I'm from New Jersey, so a lot of family back home are Yankee fans.
But the Padres getting over that series. Yeah, that was a tough one. Yeah.
All the antics, how they play, we really rose above.
Didn't we say that sparked them? After beating the Padres?
Oh,
that
yeah.
was there.
No,
That was momentum.
you could almost feel like a pressure valve had been released.
That's it.
That all of a sudden it's like, okay, we're the best team left. We're playing the best, which matters probably more than anything else. They were playing well. And, Oral, you could speak to it the best. Is there that feeling inside the clubhouse? It's like, all right, here, it's happening now. Not that it's ever easy, but that we got over the toughest challenge. That now we just got to make sure that we buckle down and take care of our business.
Well, the toughest challenge for us back in '88 was the Mets, of course. It was 10 out of 11. Then you're going on to Oakland or the Bash Brothers, and they had just swept Boston, and so they had to sit around a little bit. So we knew they could be a little bit cold in their timing. So yeah, I think it's different. I think for a guy that is an everyday player compared to a starting pitcher compared to a bullpen guy. Mm-hmm. The context of what you're doing is this is my day as a starter every day for the everyday player, and am I going to get called on if you're in the bullpen? So everybody has a different feeling about the pressure when it hits them, when that focus is, when can I relax? I think the everyday players have to be the most disciplined, the strongest mentally of anybody on the team. I think then maybe the reliever that used an awful lot, like the closer, is a huge mental job. And the starter, the starting pitcher that pitches in my day every fifth day, and maybe now every sixth or seventh, but you have some days to relax. You have some days to recover. You have some days to get back mentally and physically, and then that focus comes in where you get the pressure of the everyday player. But the everyday player, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
And for a starting pitcher, it's a sprint and then wait, a sprint and then wait, and a sprint and then wait.
I'm feeling some pressure. There's a whole baseball team.
I know it's a sellout here today. The South Hills High School baseball team is here.
Welcome, fellas. Welcome.
Yeah.
One of these
I
guys
wasn't nervous before.
Oh my gosh.
It's awesome.
So, I'm going to tell the guys from South Hills, this is a true story. I grew up not far from here. I grew up in Arcadia, played against South Hills in high school, and Jason Giambi took me deep not once but twice in the same game. So you can still have everything work out for you, and you everything will be fine. So I don't know which one of you guys are the pitchers, but when you have one of those days, you're going to.
But who's the best player on the team?
Yeah.
Who's the best player on the team?
Raise your hand.
They're all raising their hand.
He's right here. This guy got his hand up fast. This guy over here got his hand up fast.
Whoever raised their hand has a very big head.
Melissa,
can I ask one thing to the guys? In high school, I was cut from the varsity team until my junior year. And then I had a pretty good junior year and a real good senior year. And then I got a partial scholarship to Bowling Green, Ohio to pitch. And our first series in Bowling Green, when I finally made the team, I got cut there until my junior year. So I would tell you guys that the best guys on the team right now, you better watch out because I'm coming. Okay? I'm not on the team, but I'm coming. So even if you're the best, you got to work hard every day and beat yourself. Don't worry about the guys around you if you're the best. And if you're the worst or you're small or or haven't hit a growth spurt or you're not there, I'm telling you right now, if you keep working, something good is still going to happen.
The guy with the sunglasses is freaking me out, though. Yeah, see that one?
It's got to be a catcher.
Big shout out to Ashley Bustamante from Children's Dental Fun Zone for bringing the guys by today. Melissa, the host of the Talk Dodgers to Me pod. I'm taking Freddie Freeman and the Grand Slam off the table.
What?
Highlight of the postseason for you was what? You can't pick Freddie. What was it?
I mean, I've only watched that 100+ times.
Yeah, that's the easy answer. I'm making you go a little deeper.
Let's see. You know, the other highlight I've been watching on repeat is now the 5th inning.
Sure.
That epic.
Sure.
And now it's gone from just being so excited for our team and how we just took advantage of all their mistakes to, man, I kind of feel bad for them.
Not me.
Who? The Yankees?
not me.
No.
I enjoyed every minute of it.
No.
Yeah.
That'd be like a New Jersey person being sad for a New York person.
That Walker Buehler ending, though, I mean.
Incredible.
I told my
wearing your
9-year-old,
jersey.
She
so
felt bad
special.
for the Yankees. I'm like, how many World Series do they have? 27?
Something like
Never
that.
feel bad for the Yankees if they lose. Yes, ever.
No, not going to happen. Melissa, I want to say thanks again for coming by. And
Thanks for having me.
Everybody should check out the Talk Dodgers to Me podcast. We are still going to check in with Dodger legend Steve Garvey. That's still ahead. It's Travis DeMarco, 710 ESPN. All right, let's talk about this as well. Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino, LA's premier card room, now open 24/7. And if you call in right now at 877-710-3776, that number, 877-710-ESPN, you got a chance to win the ultimate game day prize pack from Hollywood Park Casino, which includes tailgate party passes to this Sunday at the casino and game day tickets to SoFi Stadium. Call in right now, 877-710-ESPN, and don't miss your chance to win the ultimate game day prize pack. Hollywood Park Casino. Park, party, and play. Must be 21 and older to enter.
LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
If you're thinking Toyota Camry or a Honda Accord, think again. For about the same monthly payment, you can drive a new European import from Unstoppable Automotive Group. Hi, I'm Garth Blumenthal, and we represent the most desirable brands in the world like Mercedes-Benz, Audi, Polestar, Volvo, Jaguar, and Land Rover. With lower interest rates and higher inventories, you can take advantage of our incredible offers. Visit unstoppablegroup.com for details.
Unstoppable Automotive Group, building relationships one guest at a time.
Hey, Cappy, we got to talk about Prize Picks. You got me into this. I love it. I play it every single night in almost every single sport. And for those of you listening out there, it's very simple. There is a stat line for a particular player in one of those sports, and it's as simple as more or less. You pick more, you pick less on that stat line. You win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. And it's the best way to get sports action in over 30 states, including right here in California.
So here's what you do. You download the Prize Picks app. You use the code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y. You get that $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. And right now, with baseball, football, basketball, soccer, and hockey going, now is a great time to play Prize Picks, George.
And again, Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. You can join over 10 million users and sign up today. Man, it's amazing. You can get your money in as quick as 15 minutes once you win.
And you're going to win. And by the way, if you don't win, don't blame me, okay? Because you're better at it than I am. Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app. Use our code CAPPY. Make that $5 play. Get that $50 bonus. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Los Angeles, your Rams are back home for another primetime matchup under the lights of Sunday Night Football to take on the Philadelphia Eagles Sunday, November 24th. All eyes will be on the Rams as Matthew Stafford and Kyren Williams go head-to-head against Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. The stage is set for a primetime matchup you won't want to miss. Grab your tickets today at therams.com/PHI. Again, that is therams.com/PHI to watch your LA Rams face off against the Eagles on Sunday, November 24th at SoFi Stadium. See you at the Rams house.
Collectors, Front Row Card Show is back at the Pasadena Convention Center on November 23rd and 24th. Baseball, football, basketball, and hockey cards, plus Pokemon, Marvel, Star Wars, and comic books. SGC and PSA will be there. So bring your cards, comics, and autographs to sell, trade, or get them graded. Hundreds of vendors, thousands of dollars in free prizes. Don't miss it. Front Row Card Show, Pasadena Convention Center, Saturday and Sunday, November 23rd and 24th, 11 to 5. For more info, go to frontrowcardshow.com. That's frontrowcardshow.com.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a good karma brands radio station.
Here we go. go. It is Factor Cap time on the Travis and DeMarco Show. Each weekday around 10:30, producer Emily serves up what's going down, and fun and frivolity ensues. Special thanks to the law offices of Joseph S. Normand for making Factor Cap possible.
It's Joseph S. Normand. It's Factor Cap on the Travis and DeMarco Show on 710 ESPN. And if you've been hurt in an accident, let me help you. Call my office at 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let's do it. Factor Cap.
Right now. Take it away, producer Emily.
Welcome to Factor Cap.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Buenos dias.
Aloha.
Aloha. I don't. The clock's a little inside out and upside down. I don't know what I'm supposed to say right now.
So now we got an 11 o'clock Factor Cap, but I'm going to start with this one. So yesterday I did see Gladiator 2. Jorge, have you seen it yet?
Oh, man, in Spanish. No, I'm just kidding. No, I saw it. I read some good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard some good stuff. So I went to the Century City AMC, which I'm sure people have gone to. If you haven't before, it's a hellhole. I hate the Century City AMC. But they have a validation center. There are basically 2 per level. So there's one on the top level, one on the bottom level, and almost everyone just gets it after the show. So you have this huge long line because everything comes out at the end, and you have to wait 10 minutes while everyone's going up to the machine. It takes 10 minutes each. Anyway, so it takes forever.
The petty inconveniences in your life are my favorite things in the world.
Exactly. So here's this. It's a shortcut. You go before your show, before you get your snacks. When you go to the bathroom, when you're doing whatever else, before the show starts, you validate first, and then you do your movie. Nice. So you avoid that long line. So my statement, though, is you always validate first. No matter where you're going, you say, hey, I'm here already. Do you validate? Here you go. And then you go on and do whatever you're doing there. Travis, Factor Cap.
Cap, because that has never crossed my mind until you just brought it up. I will.
Really?
Moving forward, sure. It never.
Because the rush is at the end.
You're right. That's a much better way to do it. But no, first of all, I know sometimes, especially in LA, it's hard to avoid. I will walk 4 miles before I'll pay for parking.
Totally with you.
Hate
paying
for
especially
parking.
when it's like you're overpriced.
Or even just like a discount on the parking, like the whatever off.
Loathe it. So I will try to avoid.
$5.
I will walk a decent amount. It's the principle of it.
$5 I can do. $10 I'm walking.
Yeah, I'm walking for almost anything, and especially valet. I get it. Sometimes you have no choice. There's nowhere to park. You got to give them your card. But no, I like the idea, but it's capped for me. I'd never done it.
Trying to park in New York, it was like $150 to park for 2 hours.
Well, you shouldn't have a car in New York.
For a Rams game.
We're walking.
Yeah. You validate first.
I'll go Cap, but it will be fact from now on. That is a great plan.
Great idea.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Jorge, what about you?
I'm bougie. I usually pay for my parking.
Oh,
regardless.
Okay, Mr. Moneybags over there. Okay. All right. So next up. So yesterday we got to experience a huge snow game. We got Steelers, Browns, snow all over the field in the game, especially at the end of the game. You barely could see the Steelers because they were wearing their whites. So I know we live in Southern California. I grew up in a place that would get snow a couple times a year. It is fun for a little bit and crappy for a lot of it. And so you wish we got snow once a year. One day, you got a snow day in Los Angeles. DeMarco, Factor Cap.
Cap, 100% cap. I've had enough of snow. Never. Yes. This is why we live in California.
Oh, you were in St. Louis.
Cap. And that's fun. You're right. That football game is fun.
And let's just say like once a year.
Seconds.
One day, only one day you get snow.
Nope.
Okay.
Cap.
Travis?
Fact. Look, I have never, ever lived anywhere where it gets cold. I've lived in 4 places in my life. Los Angeles, Santa Barbara, Phoenix, and Houston.
You're doing it right.
Okay? It does not get – Houston, once in a while, you get a little ice, but never any snow. And my mom and dad lived in Chicago for a very long time. I would go visit them and get a little snow around the holidays. It was lovely. Now I always knew I got to leave and get out of it, so a one-day L.A. snow event would be great. Now, the whole city would shut down. It would be shut
Snow
off
day for everybody.
Because there's not a snowplow within 500 miles.
Nor snow tires on any car.
Nothing.
We can't drive in the summer. You're going to put snow out here?
You guys can't drive in the rain.
Look, let's have it be on a Saturday when I'm nice and snug in my house and I don't have to go anywhere.
Some hot cocoa while you're looking at your pool.
Jorge, for sure.
What do you think?
Absolutely. I want to build a snowman outside my place. Maybe 2 of them. Yes, let's have it snow for a day. Why not?
Okay, that's a person that's never been in snow. If you got enough snow for a snowman, after 2 days, it sucks. Yeah.
It turns into slush and gross. And
I got to tell you, though, one of my favorite things happened last night during that game. I love when you're just watching the game, and then all of a sudden the field's covered with snow. Like the game started without snow, and then it's covered in snow. It happens every year. You get the first one of those. It happened last night. It was terrific. I loved it.
All right. So I was reading this article because New York City obviously has expensive rent, some of the most expensive rent in the country, if not the world. But they're trying to incentivize certain people to live in these luxury buildings by offering them group excursions with your neighbors. So they're offering off-site events, resident events, off-property experiences are shaping up. They go to apple picking, they go to winery tours, and they're included in your rent. So your rent will include 2 excursions a month where you can go meet your neighbors and be a part of your community and say, hey, I'll choose this building over this building because I got to go to apple picking upstate. Wow. So considering how much we love our neighbors or dislike our neighbors, you would do one of these excursions. Hey, it's already paid for. I'm going to go apple picking upstate with John and Mary next door. Travis, Patrick, Cap.
Cap. I really cherish my time off. I don't take a ton of it, and I look forward to it. And it's something that I anticipate a great deal. I don't like going on vacation with people I really do like.
Yeah,
like I'm not a big, let's go with this couple or that couple. I like to go with my wife and my children. That's the vacations that I like to go do. I do not need group vacations. So the idea of taking it with my neighbors who, hell no.
Yeah.
No, I'm 100% fine.
All right.
Yeah. Cap now. With that picture of me in my 20s.
Yeah. That guy's in?
Absolutely. What are you offering? Let's get let's roll.
Jorge?
Hell no. My top neighbor from upstairs, we have a feud about who's louder, us or them or her. And then the ones that just moved next door, they don't even talk to us. They don't even say hello. They've been there for 2 weeks. Heck no. They can go on the field trips by themselves.
Yeah. I'm cool with my neighbors. Are you?
We have a perfectly pleasant and respectful relationship, but I don't need to go on vacation.
You're not borrowing my lawnmower.
No, look, if they knock on the door and they need a cup of sugar, here you go, no problem. Nice to see you again. And when I'm getting the mail and it's like, it's a beautiful day out, isn't it? But that's the extent of what I need.
But not walk in,
I don't need
beer
where
by
are we
yourself.
going for dinner tonight and come over to the room for a glass of wine. I don't need that. Hell, no way.
All right, so the Giants released Daniel Jones this morning right before our show went off, and it's a bit of a shock because we're releasing a quarterback that was your starting quarterback. You drafted him pretty high, you just paid him, but not a huge surprise. Okay, so but there are circles that. So this is not with the Giants, this is with the Jets. So 2 very dysfunctional teams in New York. But there has been rumors from Albert Breer that it's been jokingly mentioned for several years in league circles that Woody's son, Brick Johnson, is the de facto GM of the Jets. Specifically when it comes to, quote, internet influences decision-making, which is exactly what took place with the firing of their GM earlier this week. So the dysfunction in New York on both teams. But having Brick Johnson be your de facto GM, my statement is you would never take advice from someone named Brick. DeMarco, Factor, Cap.
I gotta go Cap though. I mean, guy's name is Brick for a reason, right?
Means he's hard.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I might have to. He may know some stuff or know some people.
Tough.
Yeah.
Is that a better word?
Unbelievable.
Tough is
Brick. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Travis.
The only Brick that I know other than the one that you just brought was Brick from Anchorman. And
isn't Brick in Back to the Future, or is that someone else? The evil
Biff.
guy?
Biff. That's
guy,
Biff.
Yeah.
Brick was the sportscaster in Anchorman, and he was a knucklehead. So, I like your theory. Brick does not – it implies toughness.
Yeah.
It implies a durability, but it doesn't fill me with a great deal of sense of acumen.
I would like
Brick could hurt you.
I would like Brick Johnson on my offensive line.
I want a Brick to be my bodyguard.
That's like he snatched. There was a Brick top in that movie.
I don't need Brick to be my math teacher or my GM.
All right, Jorge, would you trust a Brick?
No, nor a Biff, anything. No, I wouldn't trust a Brick.
All right, I got one more for you guys. So, Penn State students were having a vigil for McDonald's on their street that is going to be torn down and replaced with high-rise apartments for students on campus. Wow. And this is a favorite McDonald's of college students at Penn State. They would go there all the time. And you know, my school had one for our Taco Bell. We had a semi-vigil for our Taco Bell that got torn down. It was near campus you could walk to. So you had this one place that you went to in college when you had a night party.
A good night.
Yes, exactly. Travis, Factor, Cap.
fact, but it wasn't a chain place. Like, I don't understand the sentimentality for a Taco Bell or a McDonald's, because there's another one probably not
right
far.
down the road.
Right. There's another. But if it's that local, what's the place in Seattle that you talk about?
Oh, Dick's Burgers.
Dick's Burgers.
Dick's Burgers.
Like, if there's a one-off, is there just one?
No, there's a few.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there was a place in Arcadia called Tops that was the spot. You'd get burgers, you'd get dogs, and all this kind of stuff. All in Santa Barbara, there was this little Mexican place called Tacos Alberto.
Yeah.
That was so good. And it was a line out the door, and then it got shut down after like 6 months for reasons that I don't want to know about. But it was wonderful, and it was a very sad moment. So for sure, everybody's got that spot.
Fact, we had the Husky Sports Den. It was a one-of-one, and it was an arcade. Sold the greasiest burgers known to man.
That's what you need at the end.
They were so good, and you could play video games. It was off. When that place closed down, we didn't have like a full school visual, but our guys did. That was our spot, man. Yeah, you're right. Fact, definitely.
All right, Jorge, did you have a place you'd always go to that you have an affinity for?
I did have a place. It was Denny's on Rosemead Boulevard, right there in Rosemead, City Rosemead. And I happened to work at that one. And once they announced that we were going to close it, I heard it from a lot of people in the community. Like, you guys have been here for 25 years. They're going to move it out of here. It just sucked to move. And it's all because whoever owned the land didn't want to renew the lease. And it's one of those things where, like, we couldn't do anything about it, but just kind of informed them, like, listen, we have a different location a mile away from here. You guys can go and hit us up there or whatever. But it was a spot after the club because it's off the 10 freeway. So you would just, like, Denny's right there off the 10. So perfect.
I think I've been to that one.
Denny's is terrific.
I think I've been to that one, yeah.
I have you ever gone into a Denny's and in that state of mind at that time of night and not been like, this is the greatest place in the history of the world?
Only once, but
Why
it wasn't
don't you
because
eat
of
breakfast
the Denny's.
for every meal?
Only once, and it wasn't because of the Denny's.
No, okay.
Yeah, somebody had too much fun outside.
I had breakfast for dinner last night, DeMarco.
What'd you have?
I had an egg sandwich, and it was glorious.
So good.
It was glorious.
What kind of bread?
Sourdough toast.
Look at you. Butter?
Oh. It goes without
look at
saying.
me. Does it look like I don't eat butter?
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
There's probably butter with the eggs and butter on the toast.
Emily gets it.
Yes.
Emily gets it. All right, we are on the clock for Dodger legend Steve Garvey. He's going to join us. We'll continue to talk about Dodger baseball and his great career as well. Factor Cap is brought to you by Joseph S. Normand. You got a lot of choices in your legal team, but family always comes first with Joe. Call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000. And, of course, you can go online at normandlegal.com. That's the law offices of Joseph S. Normand, 213-747-2000. Steve Garvey coming up. It's Trav and DeMarco, 710 ESPN. So we're here at Legends Attic today, and we know the guys at Legends Attic because I am a huge fan of Rotolo Chevrolet. The guys that are here at Legends Attic, of course, are the guys at Rotolo Chevrolet, including Mike Capozio, including Eddie Alizade. And the guys at Rotolo, they just take care of people. They take care of you because they want you to come back again. They want you to tell all your friends, and that's what they do at Rotolo day after day after day. That's why they've won Dealer of the Year 13 years in a row, because they take care of people. That's what they do at Rotolo. Transparent, courteous, upfront. You're going to love your purchase. So if you've been thinking about a new Silverado, you've been thinking about a new Chevy car or truck, going out to Rotolo Chevrolet and make sure you tell them that Travis sent you. It's right off the 210 freeway, Sierra Avenue exit. You absolutely can't miss it. It is the sea of Silverados. And if Fontana isn't exactly in your backyard, go online. RotoloChevy.com, ROTOLO, RotoloChevy.com. And whether you go in or whether you go online, make sure they know that Travis sent you in. It's Rotolo Chevrolet right there in Fontana. Go get it done.
Steve Mason and John Ireland.
Mason and Ireland today at 1 after Travis and DeMarco.
What perception that I put
You're crossing
myself.
over from producer to talent.
Yeah, but I mean, Brian, Laura, we're all talented at this place.
You're right.
Everybody is.
But
Everybody's
he is leading a show. And I'm like, I am okay with that.
I'm leading this show. This is my show.
The OGs of LA Sports Radio. That's Mason and Ireland.
On 710 ESPN.
Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to Morongo for 20 years of tons of fun and great food and good times. Happy anniversary to you. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
The 20th Anniversary Marketplace Monday Special starts the 25th. This all-you-can-eat extravaganza is all yours for only $20.
And the number one reason.
Take home an anniversary beer stein when you purchase a 16-ounce draft beer at any of our bars the 22nd.
Morongo. Good times.
Black Friday savings start now at Carden Alleyway Hyundai. These are brand new 2025 Hyundai Tucson Hybrid SEO convenience for just $369 a month for 36 months. Plus, enjoy peace of mind driving with America's best warranty. Carden Alleyway Hyundai just off the 91 freeway or at CardenAlleyWayHyundai.com. $369 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. Includes 10,000 miles per year, plus tax, license, and fees. Offer available to well-qualified buyers only. Subject to HMF credit approval. Expires 12/2/24.
Collectors, Front Row Card Show is back at the Pasadena Convention Center on November 23rd and 24th. Baseball, football, basketball, and hockey cards, plus Pokemon, Marvel, Star Wars, and comic books. SGC and PSA will be there. So bring your cards, comics, and autographs to sell, trade, or get them graded. Hundreds of vendors, thousands of dollars in free prizes. Don't miss it. Front Row Card Show, Pasadena Convention Center, Saturday and Sunday, November 23rd and 24th, 11 to 5. For more info, go to frontrowcardshow.com. That's frontrowcardshow.com.
This is the Doctor in the Dugout with Dr. Alan Byer, presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
I'm often asked about people who suffer their first back injury, think they've pulled a muscle in their back, and they don't stretch enough as far as their back is concerned. So when do you seek care from a doctor when you've sustained a back injury? At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, we like to tell people that the most important thing is to watch and see if that back pain is radiating down your leg, causing any numbness, causing any weakness, or any bowel or bladder dysfunction. These are surgical problems usually and require a more urgent visit to the emergency room rather than waiting to see the doctor. If none of these signs are present, it's safe to wait it out, rest for a few days, and seek medical care from your doctor within a week or so. Hope that helps. Keep stretching your back. If that doesn't get better in a week or 10 days, that's when it's time to seek the orthopedic specialist. Hope this keeps you on the field, and keep listening. We'll be back soon.
Keep listening for more on the road to recovery right here on 710 ESPN.
You never expect a game-ending double play, walk-off grand slam in the World Series, or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Travis with DeMarco and Evan Kohler.
Only one all-star team you can call to pinch hit for you. The personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit normandlegal.com or call this number, 213-747-2000.
Don't get struck out by others. Joseph will help you achieve the maximum compensation that you deserve. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000.
Let Joseph and his team hit it out of the park for you.
ABC Wednesdays.
Y'all can play all day. We want books. We want paper towels in the classroom. Bet you want raises, too.
I'm still waiting on the paper towels.
Abbott Elementary returns with a new season.
We asked the district for more after-school programs. They gave us $50 for class pets instead.
Critics cheer. Abbott Elementary continues to be one of the funniest and most beloved shows on TV.
What y'all doing out there? Taking bribes? Proud of y'all.
Abbott Elementary, Wednesdays, 9:30, 8:30 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Now weekdays 9 a.m. to noon on LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
All right, we are here at Legends Attic in Claremont, California. I misspoke earlier. Legends Attic in Claremont. We are guests of Oral Hershiser, and it has been a great day. We've spoken with the Hall of Famer Jaime Jarrín. We spoke with Steve Sachs. We spoke with Dave Hobrecht and Eddie, of course. And right now, it is a real pleasure, a chance to speak with one of the all-time Dodger greats, Mr. Steve Garvey. Steve, it's a pleasure to have you here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. What a great crowd today. Got some handsome young athletes out here.
Indeed.
Oh, thank you very much.
You know,
athlete was right. Young, no, DeMarco.
So you have too big a strike zone.
So, Steve, I don't want to get off on an awkward foot here, but I got to tell you, you broke my heart in 1983. because as a Los Angeles native who grew up in the city, as a Dodger fan, and coming up with that incredible infield that you, of course, were a member of, and I woke up one morning to find that you were going to be a member of the San Diego Padres, and I don't think I've gotten over it until this moment, getting to finally meet you. So that was a defining moment of a young Travis's life.
Well, when we hugged, you lingered for a while, which meant I knew down deep you were still a fan. And, you know, it was early transition, you know, with free agency. And 5 or 6 teams could bid on you and then sign it. And one thing led to another. And I always say the Dodgers made me an offer I could refuse. And nobody really wanted it, but that's what happened. And then 5 teams had the opportunity to negotiate. And I ended up with Ray Kroc at his cliff-type mansion in La Jolla.
That'll do it.
And walked into this 4,000-foot grand room that you looked north and it was L.A., and you looked south and it was Mexico. And he said, "Stevie, sit down, son." He had his little golf hat and his little cigar and big desk. And he's doing this. "Mr. Kroc, what are you doing?" He says, "I'm managing the store, Stevie." He called me Stevie. And what he had was monitors. And this was early on now, you know, really before the internet kicked in. And he had North America, and he had Canada and South America, and he was actually checking on
like individual McDonald's locations.
I was going to say the young guys out here don't know what stores he's looking
That's
at.
right.
He ran McDonald's.
He ran McDonald's across the world.
Yeah.
And then he looked at me and he said, "Son, I really want you here." And I said, "Well, thank you, Mr. Kroc." I said, "You always want to be wanted." And he says, "Listen," he said, "I know what you can do on the field, but off the field, we needed leadership and somebody who could show the people what a professional looks like and acts like and how you integrate with the community and you become one." And I'm thinking, gee, this is great, you know. And he says, "Well, I have one problem." I went, "Uh-oh." He said, "I can only pay you in Big Macs and French fries." And I looked at him. I said, "Well, can I have them for a lifetime?"
Yeah, deal.
I'll take 6 franchises.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll
and
take a few locations, right?
He said, "I'm going to tell Jeremy," which was my agent, and Ballard Smith, who was the president, to get this deal done by tomorrow. And what I wanted was parity that you know, people like Brett and Schmidt and Reggie wanted, which was about 1.5 a year.
Yeah.
How long ago that was.
Yeah.
And the next day it was right there, and we signed, and that began 5 years in San Diego, and the transition from being part of a historic franchise like the Dodgers that Oral knows a lot about, to go to a franchise that really never had that seminal moment.
Mm-hmm.
And within 2 years, we end up beating the dreaded Cubs in the playoffs and going against. That's right.
Yep. Home run.
Maybe I was the first to do that.
Oh, him running around the bases with his fist in the air.
I did the first Tebow. You did the first fist in the air, and all these guys think they get credit for it.
Well, the president, I think he plagiarized a little bit this year, or something like that. A little different situation, but you know, it was nice to be able to help create the beginning of Padre history. And I look back now, and if I couldn't have stayed with the organization for a lifetime, then the transition was the best I could have done. So.
You know, I've heard Oral say it, Steve Sachs said it, you just said it about being professional, being a professional in baseball. What does that mean? If you had to kind of tell us what that means, being a professional in baseball.
Well, it starts with developing a passion for the game. And a lot of these young men out here, and people know that game of baseball is, over the last 125 years, is the one true constant in our society, because sports affects, you know, it's local, it's state, national, and so forth. And I had a chance to be a bat boy for the Brooklyn Dodgers in spring training in Tampa, Florida in 1958, where I grew up. It's a longer story, but Dad was a Greyhound bus driver, and he got a chance to take the team the next day on a charter from Tampa to St. Pete. And that day I sat next to Roy Campanella and Gil Hodges and Duke Snider, Jackie Robinson.
Wow.
Can you imagine a kid 8 years old?
No. At all.
You know, picking up the bats, and guys, they were sticky, you know. And looking at my brand new sneakers, and I had this white stuff on them, but you know, it was rosin and it was pine tar, and that day was the beginning of a dream. And I think that it starts with a dream and a certain amount of God-given talent, or the love of it. And then eventually, if you reach a certain level, you begin the passion of what you want to do, and then that leads to the ultimate opportunity between amateurism and professionalism, and this great draft of '68, which was myself and Say and Lopes and Valentine and Buckner and Bashork. I think there were 8 or 9 guys that played over 10 years in the majors. And they sent us to Ogden, Utah. And I come from Tampa, and I got my bags, you know, kind of nice bags, middle-class family. And this other kid comes in from Stamford, Connecticut with 2 shopping bags, and it was Valentine. I said, "Where's your luggage?" He says, "I was in a hurry." So he had 2, and the one had a hole in it and everything. So we get to the Ben Lomond Hotel on Main Street in Ogden, and we go inside. It's like the Plaza Hotel in New York. And I'm walking down, and there's the desk and these palm trees, and there's this older man that's talking to like 7 or 8 kids that, look like my age. And he turns around, he goes, "This must be the Garv." And I thought, oh, my gosh, who's this? And he comes up and he says, "Son, I'm Tommy Lasorda. Your life's changed forever." And we had about 8 days before the season started. It was Rookie League. And that became an education and indoctrination by Tommy into the world of Dodger baseball and how to play Dodger baseball. And I always say they're very blessed and thankful, as Oral knows he was, to get this foundation laid. But then to have Tommy preach essentially the catechism of baseball and responsibility on and off the field into the history of the game. So, I had this deeper relationship growing up with my idols and learning about the responsibility starts, to the game and then to the fans, and then it goes to your team, and then it goes to your teammates, and all the way down the ladder there to ultimately that you're able to make a difference in the game by not only, what you are in terms of pitcher, first baseman, player, Dodger, but who you are in terms of respect for the game and the people.
Dodger legend Steve Garvey joining us here at Legends Attic. We are speaking with the 1974 MVP, a 10-time All-Star, an 81 World Series champ, a man who played in the World Series 5 times, 4 Gold Gloves, and the list goes on and on and on.
Go ahead.
An incredible. Yeah, well, all right, let's say 2-time NLCS MVP, 19 years in the major leagues. We got a lot here. You mentioned the young players that are here from South Hills High School. Sure. The Dodger team of the last 13 or 14 years or so has had an incredible run. They've been in the playoffs 13 years in a row. They've been to the World Series 4 times. They've won 2 World Series championships. And it is one of the great runs in Dodger history, to be sure. So was yours. You went to the World Series 4 times with the Dodgers in about a 10-year window. You were a part of that incredible infield that we've talked a little bit about today. And what is it like being a part of a team that the Dodger team now is a lot like this, sure. But knowing that maybe not going to go to the playoffs every year, and obviously it was a different format, but knowing that we got a chance every single season.
Well, I think it starts with the commitment with a purpose. What does the franchise want to be? And to have a foundation of this history obviously gives you a good base. And then you have to, nowadays the structure is much different, right? I can imagine seeing Dave go at 1 o'clock to the front office and then having a meeting and coming down, and he's got information, and Bob Guerin is so very important. Bob Guerin doesn't get this much
sure.
Of the thank you. And then the economics of the game has changed so much that we never had load management as part of our I always say if I would have said to Tommy Lasorda, "Tom, let's talk about our load management," he would have said, "You get your load out on that field."
Yeah, well, I did.
And
Steve,
don't ever think about, which I would never do, but don't think that you're getting off that field before I tell you.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but not only was there not, you were known for never having a day off. You tied the National League record for most consecutive games, and you were an Iron Man, and you're right. If there were load management, would you have taken advantage of it, or you're Steve Garvey, you play every day?
Oh, absolutely. You're not going to. I think Freddie Freeman is somebody that's very similar.
Yeah.
Right. He's taller, better looking. If he was left-handed, it would have been the trilogy of what a first baseman should be.
You were a better scooper of the ball because they never threw it high.
Absolutely. I was down there. I was down there already. But really, it goes to the point of building the foundation, and it goes back to who you are. I mean, like I said before, what you are as a baseball organization, who you are is your commitment to the fans and to the game of baseball. And then nowadays, the economics dictate that it's a large money investment. Hedge funds have a tendency to have that amount of money that you don't have to answer to, aren't real individuals. It's hedge fund, and they've been able to invest wisely. And what happened when was it 10 years now? I think.
Yeah, almost.
The front office literally devastated. We had no Pacific Rim office anymore. Minor leagues were in disarray. And what they did was they systematically built back this great organization, reinvested in it, spent money in the stadium, and enhance the fan experience, both in the stadium and radio and television, obviously with a big television package that came along, and then on the field. And I think if you were to say one thing about our group, it was the consistency year in, year out for that golden era of, say, 73 to about 85. And what you're seeing now is that same consistency. And I think you have to give credit from everything's vertical, from ownership right down to the guys that cut the grass. I mean,
everybody,
everybody.
I mean, I always say, my Lord, if I was fielding on this stuff now,
never make an error.
There's never a bad hop.
Nope.
You play them into bad hops. That's right.
Yeah, this is the second time I've met you, and I just you're always put together. Like you're sharp. Like I feel like I'm going to cut myself if I touch you. Is that part of your deal when you wake up? Like I care about my image.
Well, Jay Johnstone, my dear friend and great Dodger, used to always say, Garv combs his hair and sprays it before he goes to bed, and his wife's accused him of taking a Sharpie to bed too. So
we're gonna leave that there. We're gonna leave that there.
And well, he says, Garv, had this. I'm an only child, so I have this only child mentality. And he said Garv always slid on the stripes, so he didn't get his uniform dirty. And, it was a very narrow stripe.
I like it though. You told me about his baseball card.
Yeah, no, So, Steve, I'm a baseball card collector, and as a person of the 70s and 80s, you were always one of the guys that when you were tearing open that pack, you wanted to see a Steve Garvey looking back at you. And I'm a little bit of a dork with stuff like this. Like I have this,
you're a lot of
recollection of most of your cards were posed shots that when you got a Steve Garvey shot that was you swinging the bat or digging the ball out of the dirt, it was a thing because and every time uniform perfect, hat perfect, everything was just spot on. And it just when I heard that I was going to get a chance to talk to you today, I'm thinking he's going to look like he does from his baseball cards, and here we are.
Here we are.
You look like you're from.
Oh, you're embarrassing me to my son over here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, but they were all taken mostly in spring training.
Yeah.
And then at Candlestick Park, because there was a Topps photographer out of San Francisco. The Dodger photographer, Herbie Sharfman, the great Herbie Sharfman, would take the pictures in spring training for Topps. And a quick addendum, I just saw a picture the other day, and Herbie was a great boxing photographer. And that classic Muhammad Ali where he's standing over.
Liston.
Just saw it in
Liston,
there.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's a person in between his legs. And he's got glasses, and he's balding, and it's Herbie Sharfman. Right?
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's
Said,
great.
Herbie, look, you're in this picture. He says, I don't want to be in the picture. I want to take the picture. I get paid to take the picture.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
So, but, yeah, we have these memories and these relationships over time. And I think that's the most important thing, especially for these young men here. This is a time of your life where you love the game. You listen, learn, and participate. You build relationships and take that on to who you are in the future. So.
Dodger legend Steve Garvey joining us here at Legends Attic. And I had a chance at a previous job of mine to spend a little time with Tommy Lasorda, and it's Tommy Lasorda. And you spend any time with him, you get stories. You spent a lot of time with him. Your favorite your favorite Tommy Lasorda story is which one?
Well,
do you have 4 hours?
Yeah, right.
It's a family show.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, like I said, I signed. They sent me to Ogden. Tommy's the manager. It was half a season. The next season, I go to Double-A, which was Texas League, and Albuquerque doing his Double-A. And then I win the third base job in 70 coming out of spring training, and Buckner and I last till about the third week, and we go to Spokane, which ended up being the greatest minor league team in history. And then I have Walt Alston, who was there that first day when I was, a bad boy. And then it leads to Tommy in 77 and on. He was like a second father to all of us. But I always say that, and then I was with him Winter Bowl, that I knew Tommy's stories in English, Spanish, and Italian. And they were modified by the audience, right? So we would, after a Sunday game in Quisqueya, Estadio, Santo Domingo, we would go to a wealthy, Dominicans estate. Mm-hmm. And by the way, there were guys with machine guns outside, so it was that.
Real deal.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And Tommy would tell stories for an hour and a half, 2 hours. It was like he was paying, whoever it was for have the whole team over there. So I say to one of the owners one day, I said, "How's the Spanish?" And he said, "You're not bad." He said, he know conjugate, but he not that. And that's Tommy. Yeah. So, but we all knew him, loved him. He was truly unique, and of course he's not with us now. And I'm quite sure that tomorrow he will be starting, and Fernando would be starting on Sunday, and these wonderful men, who have made Dodger history. And I always say these are the authors and poets of Dodger history and baseball history. That's what happens when you go back to purpose and how an organization has purpose.
It's like looking at a multi-story building. And you have the people when you come into the organization that are your foundation and your examples, and then the next floor and the next floor. And we're at a different floor right now. But Steve was not the foundation, but he was my first floor. Tommy Lasorda, Vin Scully, Jaime Hareen was my basement and my foundation. And then getting to be around Garv as a minor leaguer coming up, not making the big leagues, but going over. I remember going over to the cages in Vero Beach and those cement benches that were outside where they put the helmets and the different things. And I remember just as a minor leaguer, when my workout was over, I would go over there and watch the big leaguers take extra hitting. They didn't have to be there. And Garv would be in the cage, and Say would be in a cage, and Dusty would be in a cage. And I would just sit on the park bench right by the cages and watch these guys hit.
Are you looking at him as the way I would look at him, Worrell? Or are you looking at him as, how do I get these guys out?
No, I was not looking at him to get him out.
Yeah.
I was looking at the consistency. Like Garv would set the machine up to be a fastball away, and here comes it was the arms then. It wasn't even the jugs yet.
Yeah.
And he'd set it up to be a fastball away, and he would hit line drive after line drive about 6 feet high into the opposite field net. And he did it for, I could say hours, but I'll say he did it in 20-minute sessions. He'd take a little break. He'd do like 50 balls. He would pick the balls up himself because we didn't have the staffing. And it was unbelievable, and I learned so much about work ethic and about dedication and about consistency from watching this guy.
I hope you guys out there are taking notes, you young players. See, right here. It's funny. It's weird.
You remember that? You remember,
absolutely.
Not me watching. Of
But
course, you
there's-
wouldn't know
but
who I
there's
was.
something
but
to be
you doing
said
it.
for the question that you were watching, just in case you were going to face this.
Sure.
On the back and field number
At
4.
that time, I'm a A-ball, double-A guy with 3 steps to go to get to the big leagues, and I'm watching you as my first time on the roster, or even on the minor league side where I'm not on the roster. I just want to watch big leaguers and say to myself, you're really pretty bad. You're going to have to get better because these guys are really good.
Well, and he did.
And the work ethic.
I think so.
Very
Yeah,
well.
he did. I just tripped. I mean, it's Earl Hershiser, right? So everybody goes gaga for Earl. To see you go gaga for another guy is amazing to me.
These guys are amazing. They'd walk by. Tell them a story about Nobi Kawana and how he protect the big league clubhouse. The minor leaguers, it was like you were the plague.
That's right. The fellow before him, John, was out of New York, in Elysian Park there. Not Elysian Park, but the old stadium in Brooklyn, Ebbets Field. And it was passed down. The clubhouse was sacred. I mean, it was the ownership of the clubhouse man. And you respected him, and he controlled everything. Back then, the clubhouse man actually controlled the tickets, too.
Oh, wow.
So, which you found out the traveling secretary was probably the most important man that you needed to really befriend, right? And but again, it makes this whole family come together when you look at the people that affect a team. That starts from basically somewhere early back then in February, and goes for a 7, God willing, 8-month period going forward. But lo and behold, when I was a bat boy, Nobi was the assistant, and he had just been starting out. And then September 1st of 1969, when a team's allowed to bring up, at that time, 4 players, it was Tom Paciorek, Bobby Valentine, and myself and Bill Buckner. And I come in from Albuquerque. I'd never been to California, and I land at LAX. And I get a cab, and I'm seeing coming from basically, you get on the 10, you're Santa Monica, and you're coming in, and the palm trees and all this stuff. You go, wow. And I had been from Florida, so I was in a pretty neat place on the West Coast in Tampa. So I get into the stadium, and they direct me to the back, and all of a sudden I'm greeted there by Nobi Kawana. And he says, "Follow me, kid." And he looks back. He said, "We heard you were coming." I said, "Wow." Yeah, the word got out. You were the little flat top kid that was a little chubby with the blue jeans and the band lawn shirt. And because I had done it for 7 or 8 years after that first day because they liked my dad. So he takes me in the clubhouse. He says, all right, follow me, bring your bags. So I got down towards the end, and there's a locker, and there's a pair of pants, and I see socks, and there's a jersey. And it was wool back then. So I thought, wow, I'm going to put on my first Dodger jersey.
Wow.
And he said, take it off the rack. I took it off the rack. He said, turn around. I turned around. It was number 6. And he said, we thought you'd deserved a single number all those years you spent with us and grew up with us. And I said, thanks. And then I put the uniform on, and I was a Dodger. And like I've always said to you and every guy that comes to Dodger, you should feel something when you put a Dodger uniform on. The history, the greats that, like I said before, the authors and, of course, the poets are the Scullys and Hershiser's and all those guys. And if you don't understand Dodger history, and we'll take you to the museum and to the library with all the Dodger books so you can understand it. And we took batting practice, and we're all so excited. We're hitting balls all over the place. And then bottom of the 8th comes, we're down 3-0 to the New York Mets. An old guy by the name of Jack DeLauro, left-handers there, 2 outs, pitchers up. And my dad said, always, sit up front in the bus, right, and next to who's in charge. So I was maybe 5 feet from Walt Austin. And he looks at me, he says, you ready? Ready, son? I said, you're up. So I go grab a bat, grab the helmet, put it on. It had 2 ear flaps. This was like an experimental
high school
time.
helmet.
And I go up there, and I'm excited, and I get in the box, and little lefty throws a cutter, and I turn on it. Just missed the foul pole. 10 feet. What's he going to throw next? Of course he's going to turn it over and throw the other way. Take that pitch after all those hours going the other way. Just missed the foul pole. I'm thinking, wow, this is not so tough. I almost had 2 home runs, So he winds up, and I'm ready for the next pitch, and all comes out of his hand, and it's the first screwball I had ever seen. And I'm going, and it's going away, and I'm going, oh, no. And I get extension, and the bat comes out of my hands, and it goes over Wayne Garrett, the third baseman for the Mets, and literally javelins in the grass. And I'm like this, and So I walk back, and there's Walter Olson standing on the steps. And he said, son, that was a pretty auspicious start. He almost had 2 home runs. And you said a Dodger Stadium bat throw record, fair. And he looked at me and he says, you know what, you'll probably get a couple thousand hits. And when it was all said and done, basically 2,600.
That one might not have worked out, but you did get 2,599 more after that. So, like you said, I think it worked out. I want to ask you one more question, Steve. You've been incredibly gracious with your time. This has been great. We've been talking about Fernando all day. We recently lost him, and when Fernando shows up in 1981 and has that amazing season, you, of course, were Steve Garvey at this point. You're a National League MVP, multiple-time All-Star. When did you know, hey, we got something here? Like, this is not just a rookie who's pretty good, but we have a sensation in our midst.
Well, his baptism was really that playoff game where I think we may have been down 5 runs and had to bring somebody in, and Tommy decided it was Fernando, and you could just see how composed he was. This was a 1-game playoff, and how he approached the hitters. And the problem was I had never been at first base when he had pitched in spring training because he always pitched late in the game. And
you were gone.
I was gone. So a runner gets on probably by his 3rd inning, and so he leads off, and Fernando winds up, and you know how he looked up to the sky, and he looks up to the sky, and I go, oh, he's going home. So I start to come off. When I come off, out of the corner of my eye, the ball's coming my way, and I grab it just like this. I mean, if I'd come off full, you would hit me right in the head. And oh, my God, he almost picked me off.
You picked the first base.
So I called time, and I went up to him. I said, is that your best pickoff move? I said, I know you can understand English. You gave me that. He goes, shakes his head like, that was just my average move to let him know I was out there. And I said, okay. And from that point on, I waited till I saw the ball going to home plate before I
Wow. That's awesome.
And then to watch him in key situations. Of course, 81 was a phenomenal. If that was his baptism, that was the birth of one of the great pitchers in history and players, by the way, and somebody who made that, like we're talking about, not always just what he was, but it became who he was in terms of his influences as an individual off the field, and started this phenomenal culture of the emergence of the Hispanic fan into Dodger Stadium in baseball. And there's a greater history. There's a book out about Fernando and I think A New Dawn, talking about the first 30 pages about what transpired after World War II that was supposed to make Chavez Ravine this whole community for the Hispanic people. So it's phenomenal.
Dodger legend Steve Garvey, as mentioned, 1974 MVP, 10-time All-Star, 4 Gold Gloves, World Series champion, 2-time NLCS MVP, and many, many more. And Dodger fans
good-looking
everywhere,
dude.
Steve. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. It's a real pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. You got it. All right, we're back with more from Legends Attic in Claremont. That's coming up next. It's Travis DeMarco, 710 ESPN.
And it's a Cosm Friday, which means you should call in right now, 877-710-3776. And caller number 7 will receive tickets to watch the Lakers and the Suns and the NBA Cup at Cosm LA in shared reality. Call in right now, 877-710-3776, 877-710-ESPN right now.
Mason and Ireland.
You can pull it if you want, but I'm not doing it again. That's
Mason
nonsense.
was right about everything he said.
Right.
Yeah, I love when I hear that.
The biggest show on the radio, weekdays at noon
on 710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Cappy. You've heard me talk about my personal situation with my divorce and subsequent custody battle in the past, and I know that you need a team behind you to get the justice you deserve. My friend Mark Reel and his team at Real Fathers Rights are here to help you guys. Visit realfathersrights.com/710. That's REEL. realfathersrights.com/710 or call 323-870-1611. That's 323-870-1611. Real Fathers Rights. The Father's Rights Attorneys.
At Children's Hospital Los Angeles, we're a nationally recognized leader in pediatric care, honored by U.S. News and World Report as one of the best in the country. Here, we achieve amazing breakthroughs that change lives. From groundbreaking cancer therapies that offer new hope to young patients, to advanced heart procedures that save lives, we partner with families to conquer challenges and achieve extraordinary outcomes. Choose the best care for your child at chla.org.
Collectors, Front Row Card Show is back at the Pasadena Convention Center on November 23rd and 24th. Baseball, football, basketball, and hockey cards, plus Pokemon, Marvel, Star Wars, and comic books. SGC and PSA will be there. So bring your cards, comics, and autographs to sell, trade, or get them graded. Hundreds of vendors, thousands of dollars in free prizes. Don't miss it. Front Row Card Show, Pasadena Convention Center, Saturday and Sunday, November 23rd and 24th, 11 to 5. For more info, go to frontrowcardshow.com. That's frontrowcardshow.com.
Gear up and get out to Kelsey's at Pachanga, the top spot in the Temecula Valley to watch all the Monday Night Football action. Dozens of TVs means all your favorite games, plus a M&F food menu fit for the greatest fans. Sliders, loaded tater tots, pulled pork pizza, and a lot more. Plus, you'll find beers on tap and incredible craft cocktails at Kelsey's. Visit Pachanga.com and follow at Pachanga Casino on Instagram for info about special and exclusive NFL team appearances. We'll see you at Kelsey's at Pachanga.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Hey, John Ireland here. Are you going through a life change? Whether you're downsizing, inheriting a home, or ready for a change, Seller's Advantage is here to make selling your home easy. They'll buy it as is with a competitive cash offer. No repairs, no hassle. With Seller's Advantage, you're in control. Close as quickly as you want and do it on your own terms. Check out their reviews online and call for a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS. That's 888-390-2747 or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Black Friday savings start now at Cardinale Way Hyundai. These are brand new 2025 Hyundai Tucson Hybrid SEO convenience for just $369 a month for 36 months. Plus, enjoy peace of mind driving with America's best warranty. Cardinale Way Hyundai just off the 91 freeway or at CardinaleWayHyundai.com. $369 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. Includes 10,000 miles per year plus tax, license, and fees. Offer available to well-qualified buyers only. Subject to HMF credit approval. Expires 12/2/24.
Collectors, Front Row Card Show is back at the Pasadena Convention Center on November 23rd and 24th. Baseball, football, basketball, and hockey cards, plus Pokemon, Marvel, Star Wars, and comic books. SGC and PSA will be there. So bring your cards, comics, and autographs to sell, trade, or get them graded. Hundreds of vendors, thousands of dollars in free prizes. Don't miss it. Front Row Card Show, Pasadena Convention Center, Saturday and Sunday, November 23rd and 24th, 11 to 5. For more info, go to frontrowcardshow.com. That's frontrowcardshow.com.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Winning matters, especially after an accident. At calljacob.com, we're here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to calljacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB.
Maui and Moana, together again.
Can I get a chee-hoo?
This Thanksgiving, if you can watch one movie,
hey, you wanted to come this time.
make sure it's
Moana.
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 Moana. You might want to hold on.
Disney's Moana 2, rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Only in theaters November 27th. Tickets available now.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything, like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and saute. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up. The food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
As you know, we've welcomed the new partner here at 710 ESPN, NextGen. NextGen, the official AC, heat, and plumbing company of SoCal sports fans.
You're as cold as ice.
Call 833-3-NEXTGEN, NEXGEN, or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com. Time for our feature we do 3 days a week. Who's hot? Who's cold? Thanks to NextGen. Boy, time for Who's Hot? Who's Cold? Take it away, Producer M.
All right, it is hot. What's hot is, Legends Attic. It's popping over here. We got tons of people here coming to check out this space here in Claremont, which has been amazing and very gracious to us. But what's really hot right now is Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar dropped a new album today, which features a song called Dodger Blue.
Nice. Oh,
all about the Dodgers.
I was just going to ask if Drake is still with us.
Yes, he is. Barely hanging on my thread, but Dodger Blue, I would play that song for you guys, but it is not suitable for the airways.
Oh.
But if you're a Dodger fan, check it out. It's got a lot of great references in there for you to parse, and it's great. We got new Kendrick Lamar coming out because we know Oral is a huge fan of hip-hop because he raps for us.
how to rap.
Look.
Yes.
Look. That's the takeaway from the day. We got to
He knows
speak
that
with
song.
Jaime Henry.
Yes.
We got to talk with Steve Garvey. We got to talk with Steve Sachs. This was all amazing.
Yes.
Oral Hershiser doing Eminem.
Not
Well,
on my bingo
hey,
card.
No.
Who's better,
No.
Oral as Eminem or me as D-Max?
Okay, so you are
wow.
You're better at dropping the line, but you knew DMX doesn't really surprise you,
Sure. Yeah.
right?
Him knowing Eminem.
That caught me by surprise.
Big time. And what kept going.
Yeah.
Yes, I know the whole song.
Yeah.
All right, so It's Cold is Giants and Daniel Jones and the Cowboys. So Jerry Jones has the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever. He could pick up Daniel Jones and play him against the Giants on Thanksgiving Day. They are looking for a quarterback. They have Cooper Rush right now, who's unimpressive. They don't really care about playing Cooper Rush or not. Get Daniel Jones, play him against your rival in the division, against the Giants, stick it in his face. Let's do it.
That would be fantastic.
Great theater.
So I know you were with the Niners very briefly.
Yeah.
But you never played in a regular season.
No, I wanted to.
Right?
Yeah.
What would it have been like to go up? Because I talked to Kirk about this, right?
Yeah.
Kirk played for the Raiders, played for the Bills, played for Jacksonville, so he went up against some of his older teams a few times. That's got to be a bizarre situation.
Fun. It's weird. Stunning admission. I wanted to end Kurt Warner. Not because I hated Kurt. I was mad at Mike Martz. So the only way I could hit you is hit him. That was my only motivation for going to San Fran. Yeah, you're right. Yes.
Hit him hard enough, maybe Martz will feel it.
Absolutely, right in the sternum. Here we go.
Make the ground shake.
That's for you.
Who's Hot, Who's Cold is brought to you by NextGen. The official AC Heat and Plumbing Company is SoCal sports fans. Call 833-3-NEXTGen. That's 833-3-NEXGEN. Or go to nextgenairandplumbing.com to schedule your appointment online.
And we have something special for you, Travis. And you have your birthday today. We also have
a
special cake
birthday.
Let's go. All right. Happy birthday to you.
Look at that. It's pretty.
Happy birthday, dear Travis.
Don't you eat a bite. Happy birthday to you. That's about 20 miles.
Thank you, guys. That is fantastic.
Why is there not 100 candles on there?
Emily, that's enough. Pipe down.
Happy birthday, amigo.
I don't know if you could fit. Thank you, Jorge. I don't know if you could fit the amount of candles I need on that cake, but David,
that's awesome.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, guys.
It's a beautiful cake if you're not watching on the stream.
It is. It's got some flowers. It's got a nice piece of chocolate on the top. What type of cake are we talking about here? Vanilla. Let's go. Marco, eyes off my cake.
Too late.
More to come. DeMarco and Trav, 710 ESPN.
LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. At Los Angeles International Airport, changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience. The LAX Economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding, and in the future, the People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. For more information, go to their website, flylax.com/transforming-LAX. That's flylax.com/transforming-LAX.
Lakers fans, take the purple and gold with you wherever you go by downloading the Lakers app, presented by BBGO. With the Lakers app, get the latest team news, live updates, in-game highlights, photos, and more. Available in the App Store for free. Don't miss any of the action as the season continues. And always be game day ready. The Lakers app has you covered. Download now to your iPhone or Android. Let's go, Lake Show.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Collectors, Front Row Card Show is back at the Pasadena Convention Center on November 23rd and 24th.
Baseball, football, basketball, and hockey cards.
Plus Pokemon, Marvel, Star Wars, and comic books.
SGC and PSA will be there.
So bring your cards, comics, and autographs to sell, trade, or get them graded. Hundreds of vendors, thousands of dollars, and free prizes. Don't miss it. Front Row Card Show, Pasadena Convention Center. Saturday and Sunday, November 23rd and 24th, 11 to 5. For more info, go to frontrowcardshow.com.
That's frontrowcardshow.com.
Hey, LA, let's talk trash. Food waste, that is. Tossing your food scraps in the regular trash sends them to landfills where they release harmful gases like methane. Fight global warming by simply sorting your food scraps and placing them in your green bin. It's quick, it's easy, it helps protect our planet. Ready to do your part? Visit cleanla.com or call 888-CLEAN-LA for more tips. This message funded by Cal Recycle.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles.
KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K2560X 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Super Crosstalk presented by In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out. That's what a hamburger is all about.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
All right, before you guys can attack me for it, I need to fall on the grenade.
About?
I can't believe I forgot about the mural, John.
Oh, I knew you
blew
would.
it.
Yeah, I knew you'd forget. Because you know why? Ramon and I were just talking about this off the air. Remotes are... You have a line of people waiting to talk to you. You got people telling you to rap. I figured you would probably forget. Remotes are brutal.
I did, but I have a plan, John. I don't want to spoil it right now, but I do have a plan to try to make it right that I'm hoping I'll be able to give you on Monday.
Okay.
So we'll see. I don't know if I can execute it, but at least that's going to be my plan. Jen, you've been doing the Lakers forever. Ramona has been around, athletes for forever, and I know that both of you are LA people, Southern California people. Have you the day today? Steve Sachs, Oral Hershiser, Steve Garvey. It was surreal.
On your birthday. Happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, happy birthday, Chad.
Yeah.
Very much. Thank you very much. It was a surreal moment to get to spend time with guys that when you're 9 years old, you're watching on TV, you're collecting their baseball cards, and it's so much fun to get to talk to those guys. I'm sure you've had a similar experience a million times, but what a treat.
Yeah, and I heard Oral telling stories about how I love that story he told about Fernando died and all of Mike and Ann Socha's TVs were set to Spanish. Totally, and they don't know how it got there. Or Oral getting a visit from a cleaning lady that didn't exist, that helped him pray through. See, I believe in that. I'm kind of goofy that way, Trav. I believe in fate. I believe that people come into your life for a reason, and I believe that somebody. And some people are religious, some people aren't. But somebody wanted you on your birthday to get to talk to all three of those guys today, and look what happened.
Wow.
There you go.
That's the case. And that is as good a case for me to become a believer as any.
Spiritual?
That's it. So if you would have said to me, oh, hey, by the way, DeMarco Farr, who you watched in the Rose Bowl 3 different times with, as a younger person, and he and Oral Hershiser are going to be singing you happy birthday? Yeah, right. How high is my fever? And do I have 107 fever? And what's going on? Doesn't make any sense at all. Momo, I would imagine you've had a million moments like that too, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, it was the first time that I interviewed Magic. That was the one that kind of got me. I was like, I'm actually talking to Magic Johnson. Like, I grew up talking to him, and like, I'm like, or even same thing with Oral. Oral kind of did that for me too, because I was 9 in 1988,
right?
And you have those like, this is what I get to do for my job. How is this possible? Like, how is this I remember Magic called me once, and my phone rang, and it said, and he was in my phone as Irvin Johnson, and I was like, am I getting a call from Irvin Johnson right now? Like this, like it was just like those surreal kind of work moments.
The story I always think about that you told me a long time ago, Ramona, is how Coach Wooden left you a voicemail,
oh my God.
And you lost your phone or your phone malfunctioned.
No, it was when I got a new phone. It didn't port over.
You didn't port, yeah.
And like we didn't save the voicemails, and I had a voicemail from John Wooden because I was doing a story on Sue Enquist, and she was the former softball coach at UCLA. And she was really good friends with Wooden. Won the most games in softball. Yada,
right.
Yada. Okay, so I called Wooden, and I got a call back from, I think it was an unlisted number, and it said, Hi, Ramona. I'm not going to do the Wooden
Yeah,
voice, okay?
this is John
This
Wooden.
is John Wooden, ex-UCLA men's basketball coach.
No, he didn't.
He just identified himself that way.
He
And it was
vocal fonted.
Yeah, and then he proceeded to leave me about a 1.5-minute message about Sue Enquist that I could use as a quote.
Right. They basically took care of it without you having to track him down.
Yeah, but then I wanted to. But
you missed the interaction.
Yeah, I wanted to call him, but I was like, I guess I'll just use this as the quote. Like I missed my John Wooden moment, And then I saved that message for years, and then when I got a new phone once, they just poured it over my line. But I guess that was back before iPhones. And the message was just gone.
Boy.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to lose.
I always get a kick out of, they don't get much more well-known than John Wooden.
Yeah.
That when somebody like that introduces themselves with their full name and what they do or how you're supposed to identify.
Trav, I got one of those you're going to love. So I'm a TV sports guy in San Diego in the mid-'90s. And I get this call one day from the news director at KCAL, and they said, hey, we want to hire you to do this here. And, it quadruples your income. You're jumping 30 markets. It's like it's a little bit surreal. So I signed the deal with KCAL, and my first day is on a Monday in October. Mm-hmm. And my boss at KCAL goes, we're sending you to LA Kings Media Day.
Okay.
You just do a story on Media Day. I go, okay. So we go out there. We set up the tripod. I introduce myself to the Kings PR guys. I don't know anybody. And I'm sitting there, and here come the players. They start to come on the ice. And Wayne Gretzky skates to where I am, takes off his glove. Hockey wears gloves. 6-hand hand goes, hi, I'm Wayne. I go, yeah, I know.
Oh, my God.
But, Trev, you dealt with him a lot. That's exactly like he was. I mean, he was completely unimpressed with himself, except when he's on the ice, and then he was unstoppable.
Well, we had this the other night. So Golden State was in town. And Draymond Green gets asked about Steph Curry, and do you ever get, do you ever the same question LeBron's teammates get a lot, which is like, do you ever stop and pinch yourself and realize how great this guy is, right? And how amazing he is. And Draymond tells this whole story about an all-star. He goes, it's amazing to me that Steph has become this mythological creature, not just for fans, but even for players that go against him, right? Yeah. And he says, this summer, there was an all-star. He did not name the all-star, but I will tell you off the air later.
Okay.
Text me.
I'll text you. Who called him over the summer saying, hey, I really want to work with Steph on my shooting or something this summer.
Right.
How do I get a hold of him? And he goes, just call him. And he goes, but, will he take my call? Does he know who I am? This is like an NBA all-star, legitimate all-star.
Right. But you know what? You took me down a road where that's something interesting. All right.
Wait, I'll finish.
I didn't know that was in the end.
Okay. So then he goes,